What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It's your girl, Miss Honey. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope you guys had a wonderful week so far. 2 more days and it is the weekend. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and I am almost positive you won't regret it. No matter who you are, new or old honeybee, remember to give me that thumbs up. I would appreciate that as well. And of course, let's talk about this show down below. This is Greenleaf, of course. We do this every Wednesday. This is season 3, and shout out to Greenleaf on Oprah, the entire cast of Greenleaf, because Greenleaf has been picked up for a season 4, and I think it's well deserved. This is great drama. We are doing episode 5 today, Closing Doors, and this episode is no exception to that drama rule. This episode is full of drama. The title of this episode again is Closing Doors, and it is so apropos because the whole episode is full of closing doors, both metaphorically and spiritually, emotionally. A lot of doors being slammed and a lot of faces and a lot of spirits in this episode. Let's talk about Charity real quick. We see that she is back at home, and she is unpacking the baby bag, and she finds that there is a bottle of cotton in the in her bag. And then Grace comes in, and Grace talks to her and just tries to comfort her a little bit, and she is upset. She is pissy mad at Grace because she was arrested and handcuffed, and this is all Grace's fault. You know, it would not be an episode of Greenleaf if we did not at least 2 times mention how everything that goes wrong in this universe is somehow Grace's fault. It's pathetic. It is so pathetic. But anyway, Grace tries to comfort her. Evidently, Kevin had her arrested. He did call the police. Grace was able to talk him out of pressing charges, which I just think is ridiculous. Why are you pressing charges on your kid's mom? Like, why are you doing that? I don't understand. First of all, y'all been best friends since high school. Why are you not trying to talk to Charity? I don't know. Even though Charity's throwing a temper tantrum. Charity is always throwing a temper tantrum. Charity is always one incident away from a temper tantrum. I mean, she probably throws a temper tantrum at breakfast. Like, come on. Grace does mention that it's Kevin's week, so evidently they're week on, week off in terms of custody. It's his week to have the baby, and she puts the oxycodone on away, puts Grace out. And when Kevin comes to get the baby, she comes down those stairs. And when she comes down those stairs, I was like, girl, I mean, she stomped down those stairs like a 2-year-old. As a matter of fact, she's going to be little Charity Greenleaf this whole episode because she acted so childish this whole episode. And anyway, comes down those steps dragging that baby bag and got that baby and gives him the baby and just throws the bag on the floor and just stomps back upstairs. And Kevin looks like he's concerned. He looks up at her concerned because she doesn't speak a word to him. And I'm like, here's your opportunity, Kevin. Here is your opportunity to do what you have always done, which is support Charity. Like, yeah, she's been a pissant about a lot of stuff. It's your baby. It's your time to be happy for your own self. Like, live your authentic self. But this girl is crying out for help, and you are the one person that's always been able to help her. Why are you not sitting down trying to talk to her a little bit more and just trying to hear her out? Like, I don't get it. You do it for your baby. You do it for the son. You do it for peace sake. I mean, gosh. Anyway, he lets her go on back upstairs, and when she gets back upstairs, Charity, I don't know. I couldn't figure it out until later on when we see the family all together. I think I kind of figured it out a little bit, that Charity is very upset. She really probably hasn't mourned from losing her baby, a little girl that she had a miscarriage, because we see her in her in her room. You know, all their rooms got a bedroom, a large bedroom, and a large suite outside the room. And she's got all her baby things out there. She's looking at them and she's melancholy. She doesn't say a word this whole scene. She sort of just stomps and lays around this room and just, from one dramatic pose to the other. Rushes to the drawer and gets out this Oxycontin and takes one and swallows it down, and then stumbles off and gets in the bed. So we get to see Jacob and Carissa. Carissa is walking around the house. She is missing Zora, something fierce. We see that Tasha is having a conversation with Rochelle in Rochelle's convertible, and Rochelle is just sort of taking the full lead. I mean, she's definitely a skank by hook or by crook. She's taking the full lead of this whole scamming, scheming, revenge plot that the skanks have against Jacob and the Greenleafs. And so she wants Tasha to get Jacob to sign these papers that basically are just a bunch of legal blah blah blah. She says, I would be more suspect of that than anything, but also to open an account or start an account in the name of the old church. Now, you know, the old church is Triumph. And then Tasha's like, well, there's no old church. She was like, look, get this paperwork done. Like I said, she is in charge of this whole revenge plot scheme. Well, what are you gonna do while I get these papers out? I am, she said, you gonna go see Bishop? I wish I would go see him after the way that man talked to me. If he wants to see me, he's gonna have to find me. And with these tax issues, I have no doubt that he will, in fact, hunt me down. Okay, I was like, okay. Of course, Tasha's feeling bad. She tries to get Jacob to sign the papers. She walks up on Jacob. He playing chess with his son. And she just can't bring herself to do it. So she gives him some fool-la-la story and walks on out with the papers. And later on, when she goes back and gets in the car with Rochelle again, Rochelle is like, did you get them papers signed? I was like, Rochelle, you hanging outside of buildings like pimps and stuff? Like, Tasha, come on. Just do what's right. Just do what's right, girl. Just do what's right. You don't need permission to do what's right. Anyway, so she says, well, and Rochelle's like, what, you can't handle this? Do you ever want to see babies again? I tell you what you need to do. You need to get back in there and get them papers signed. Toot sweet. Okay, I'll have them for you tomorrow. You best to do it just that. She gets out of the car like she is all afraid and scared of Rochelle. And later on, after a lot has gone on in the Greenleaf family, Jacob is sitting at his desk, and she comes in with the papers, and he's got all of these things that are going on in his family and in his life on his mind. He's talking about that, and she's talking, and what are these? And just, you know, just some old, just same old. And he is just signing away, just talking and signing and talking and signing. And she is just like, you know. And at the same time that he's signing it, he is giving her accolades. He's telling her that he considers her family and he appreciates her stepping in. And this is the bone of guilt for her. I would say a bone of contention, but it's a bone of guilt for her. This is what she's feeling. This is her conscience rising up and telling her, girl, you know you wrong for this, girl. This is really, really bad. She gets back to her office and looks at those papers. I was like, girl, you are officially an accomplice. Lady Mae. Lady Mae opens the show. She is looking through some divinity brochures for a divinity school, and she's noticing there's nothing but young people, and she's got some concerns about these endeavors that she has thoughts about, such as going to divinity school and getting her degree in divinity. And at the same time, she gets a phone call, and that phone call is from Clara, the lotto winner. And evidently Clara has talked to her money man, and her money man has said unequivocally, no, you cannot give this money to these Negroes. Of course, she storms into Bishop's office, and what are we going to do? Claire's not giving the money. Bishop already knows, because the money man has already called him. And in typical trifling fashion, Bishop is pissed at the money man. He thinks that the money man, you should heard the way that man talked to me. I half think that he want Clara to die so he can get the money. First of all, he has a problem with Clara giving you $2 million for a personal tax debt with absolutely no contention plans to pay it off, to pay it back. Okay, you just want her to give you the money to pay off your tax debt. It isn't even going towards the church. After they dig a little bit, this is what they find out. And what you do, instead of saying we shouldn't have done it that way, we need to find a better way, and I feel bad or whatever. No, what does he do? He decides, because he is being scheming and trying to weasel the money out of Clara, then obviously the money man must be doing the same thing. See, a thief watch they purse or they wallet tighter than anybody else. A liar always suspects that someone else is lying. Okay, people who are insincere do not trust sincerity. Just a footnote. Well, the conversation escalates between the two of them. She's blaming him. He's blaming her. He's blaming Mac. She's blaming him for listening to Mac. He's blaming her for bringing Mac into their life. Like, the conversation really gets vicious. And she tells him at this point, this is what we got to do. This is the plan. This is all it is to this. We're going to have to get a divorce, announce it to the church, and then I will take over the whole kit and caboodle, and you can go on about your merry way. And he was like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Are you nuts? That's not how this works. If one of us leaves, that's fine. But I guarantee you, dollars to donuts, it will not be me, boo. Okay. And she is like, what? And yeah. He's going to fight you. He's not going to just roll over, Mae. Didn't Maxine tell you that it probably would be a bit of a fight? Or did you think you was just going to come in? Okay, it just swap. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You are essentially declaring war. He walks out there and he tells her it's nature's way and closes that door like, girl, bye. I was like, where's the love? Where's all these love soliloquies that we had in episode 4? 40 more years. When you just putting on, you're just talking, you're doing whatever you got to do and saying whatever you got to say in order for things to be back to the way it was. Mae, on the other hand, is showing her true colors. I have always said that Mae wears a mask. Anytime you see Mae floating and, oh, please sit down. When Connie comes to see her, she's like, oh, Connie. And, just, oh, and please have a seat, Connie. And when Connie confronts her with the truth, we know the woo. She tells Connie that even though Bishop has not fully consented, the idea, what she has come up with to resolve this whole issue is to get rid of Bishop and she herself lead the whole church. And Connie's like, Mae, we've already had this conversation. That will never do. Okay, in the event that you guys are not together, we will bring in a disinterested third party. Well, who would this disinterested third party be? Oh, what happened to sweet, elegant Queen of England, Mae? She's got this way. Lynn Whitfield is a good actress. She got this way of darkening her whole countenance and tightening up her lip. And who would this be? And so she said, well, of Grace, of course. Ooh, Lady Mae was not trying to hear that. Okay. She was not trying to hear that. All right. She stomps on off to go see Grace. Prior to this, earlier in the day, before Connie comes to see her, she done woke Sophia up at the crack of dawn. And now Sophia got Zora up downstairs for Bible study. Time for Bible study. She's down there, got Zora reading scriptures. Okay, at the same time she got Zora reading scriptures, down comes Sophia. She spoke to Zora right off, spoke to her grandmother, and of course, Zora is like, bitch. Okay, Sophia represents the good girl. Zora is representing the bad girl. Bad seed, good seed. This is how things are, and Sophia don't have to go to Bible study because Sophia is an angel, right? Sophia is going for a run. Zora has to sit there and read scriptures because this is part of the chastisement and the deprogramming process. Now, I call it isolation and division, but whatever. Zora is reading a little scripture. I was like, way to project, Lady Mae, way to project. Way to project. You gonna drop all of this at Zora's doorstep? How is this gonna help Zora? Sound like it's gonna make Zora a bit more and more bitter and push her further and further away from Christ. After she see the mess, the ramshackles that is her family. But I digress. Lady Mae goes to see Grace. And of course, she takes all that anger and that venom that she had for Bishop and she drops it at Grace's doorstep. And Grace is absolutely not having it. Grace is not having it. Grace is like, look, what y'all need to do is y'all need to get back together and repair this relationship. That is what is going to save this church. That is what is going to prick the people to give out of their hearts and redeem things. Now, I got a problem with them raising money at the church for their own personal tax debt. I'm going to tell you that. I'll tell you this. Like I said, I keep mentioning how lavish this house is and the fact that they have all these wonderful spreads rolled out for breakfast and everybody's got 2 master suites for their living quarters and all this stuff. You living in your $2 million tax debt, boo. Okay, the people of the church should not be giving money for that purpose. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So anyway, Grace sends her on about her way. And then we see later on when Grace is going through something, Lady Mae tries to support her. And Grace, it shuts her down and tells her, I don't need you, I'm good. I don't need you, I'm good. See, people getting tired of this. You're going from here to there, dropping your venomous rhetoric. And you're going to see, we see throughout this episode, Lady Mae starts to get doors closed in her face. People are not bowing and kowtowing to this venomous, angry rhetoric that she's spewing. You're not in control like you think you are, Lady Mae. You're not. These are all adults. Okay, with the exception of Zora, nobody is listening. Nobody is listening. Everybody is looking at you like you a damn fool, girl, for how you trying to run around here. Like you let Pastor Patty Patterson put a battery in your back and you have decided you're going to come in and everybody is supposed to lay aside every weight to take you and your concerns in. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You want to be in charge? You want fame? Well, fame comes. Girl, you better get to work. You better get to work. Ain't nobody finna hand you your future and your success. Lady Mae, you best to get to work. Anywho, I digress. And when the family goes through this huge crisis, which we're going to talk about, Bishop tries to talk to Lady Mae. The family needs us to be a unit, Mae. Come on. They need us to be a unit. They need their parents together. And Lady Mae, in what I consider to be a final declaration, tells him that absolutely the die has been cast. She has no feelings towards him where that is concerned anymore. She wants a divorce. She wants it to be done. They can both support their kids, support everything that's going on. He's saying Jacob is having a problem with his child, and we're having a problem with Charity. And Grace has got this situation on. You got the grandkids popping off. They need us all together. She was like, right, they do need us. They need their mother and they need their father. But their mother and father together, I could care less about. It's not going to happen. We need to make this announcement. We need to get it done. Tell the children, tell the church, and be done with it and move forward. It's a final declaration. What is he supposed to do with that? He did jump the gun on the divorce papers. But now, after making yet another plea, she shoots it to the ground. So let's talk about Bishop. Bishop found himself isolated. After he had that the Clara tax talk with Lady Mae, he don't have nobody. See, before, he would talk to Mae, and then he would talk to Matt. Matt would give him resolution and Mae would help him with resolution, okay? All right, but he don't have Mac no more. And Mae is the enemy now. She's declaring war against him now. So what is he going to do? He goes and talks to Percy. Percy ain't shit. Percy did himself have a tax issue, and he talking about how he sold this and sold that and begged Peter and robbed Paul and stole from that to give to John. Uncle Sam. That's how he paid it off. And he had got him a good lawyer, and James Bishop want the lawyer's number. He was like, well, you need to call that cute little fella that was strolling around you. I was like, and here starts the beginning of sexual harassment. You need to call that cute little filly. And see, she don't just do hedge funds. She does, you know, Bitcoin and, you know, what do you call it? Octocurrency or something, you know, with it, the money is all electronic, you know, and she does all this. Well, how do you know I saw it on her website? And why are you on her website? Now, Bishop is showing a little bit of jealousy because Perry is as much as saying, I'll give you the lawyer's number if you give me Rochelle's number. I want to try that little filly out. I want to see how much I can get out of that little filly. I want to see how far that little filly gonna let me go. I was like, this seems really familiar. This behavior, this rhetoric, this misogyny seems very familiar. Anyway, it was giving me old Fish Called Wanda. Y'all ever seen a movie called Fish Called Wanda? It had Jamie Curtis in it, and I forget the other guy that's in it. But anyway, it's all about this whole family of grifters. There's also a movie called Grifters, which are con artists. And for some reason, he's giving me a real con artist. How he was just trying to sell Rochelle to Bishop was giving me such a con artist feel. I was like, Anyway, yeah. So then we see where Bishop goes to see Rochelle, just like she planned. And he's standing at the front desk, and she comes down. And she was like, oh, are you here to see me about not being at church? I was like, Once again, she's standing right in his face. I mean, if she were to stick her tongue out, she would touch his lips. I was just like, why don't y'all separate and sit apart? Like, why y'all always got to be right up in each other's space? Why y'all always got to be smelling each other's breath? Like, I don't understand that. Anyway, he apologizes and tells her he didn't mean to hurt her feelings. And she was like, is that all? And he was like, also, I wanted to let you know that I didn't mean to give you mixed signals. Is that all? And also, I wanted your best advice about this whole tax thing. She was like, I know you don't think I'm going to give you anything. I know you do not think you're going to dismiss me and humiliate me and leave me with a throbbing clitoris and think I'm going to do you a favor? It's like, listen, Rochelle, I was like, girl, if you don't act. And she escorts him back to the front desk and tells him she wouldn't help him if he was the last person on earth, and sends him on his way. And then as he is walking off, she tell a guy at the desk, if he comes back, don't tell me, don't let me know. I was like, wow, that was impactful. Don't call up and let me know. Not kick him off the premises or never let him in here again, but just don't tell me and don't let me know. I was like, Bishop, I know you ain't buying this. I know you ain't buying this. You ain't got no more discernment. Anyway, I digress. So he gets shut down. Grace and Sophia. When Sophia takes her run, that's when we first get to see this pain that Sophia is going through. She's got a sharp side pain. She goes on about her day. Later on in the day, she goes to see Zora. Zora's downstairs listening to an old-fashioned CD play, and she tries to be friendly with Zora. She's trying to just kind of make up with her and just move past, you know, the things that they said to each other and all of that, and Zora's not hearing it. She gets another wince of pain, and Zora dismisses it and is ugly about it. We see Zora be quite ugly constantly throughout this episode. She is definitely a brooding teen. I think it can all be resolved by bringing her within an inch of her life. But I don't have children. What do I know? What do I know? Okay, I'm just saying, a quick like this and snatch it to the back and, you know what I'm saying, make her think twice at least about coming out her mouth crooked. And not just with Sophia, with her daddy, with her mama. Like, she needs to be brought down a peg or two, is all I'm saying. Anyway, Zora goes on off upstairs. Sophia stands up and tries to walk off, like, you know. She's doubled over again. Grace get a call when she's with Darius having lunch and talking about starting her own church, maybe not at Calvary, maybe starting her own church somewhere if he would be a first husband. And he is just like, hold that thought. So when she gets this phone call, we all know what it's about. But let's back up a little bit. After Grace went to see Charity, she gets a visit from Lady Mae, and where she stands up for herself completely. I love the fact that she's standing up for herself with Lady Mae, because we saw in season 1 and season 2, she was taking a lot of the brunt of what Mae was dishing out. We see her also talk with Connie a little bit after Lady Mae leaves, and she knows that Lady Mae knows that Connie offered her this opportunity to lead the church in their stead, in her parents' stead. And Grace has a conversation with Connie and tells her, even if I do lead this church, I want my parents to get back together. I want them to work it out. I want that to be our first course of action, not just thinking about how to replace them. But even if I did lead this church, it would be all inclusive. It would be built on love. That's what a church is to her. And Connie just tells her that all she hears when she hears her say that is schism, scandal, and a for sale sign. Scandal with who? Her mama and her daddy? I mean, if we dig enough, Connie, we'll find scandal with you too. I'm sure. You are not blameless. And you running around and doing all this talking. Why don't you put your hat in the ring to run the church? You know so much. You know so much about what should be said, what should be preached, what should be taught, what should be done. Why don't you do it? The deacon board knows so much. Why don't we have somebody off the deacon board to do it? Huh? Okay. All right. No problem. Anyway, she has that conversation with her. And then we see where she gets this call about Sophia. And she rushes off to the hospital. We see that they don't even know what's going on with Sophia. They know she's in pain. They're going to have to open her up to see what's going on. I call bullcrap on that. Sonograms, ultrasounds, MRIs. It's a lot of things they could have done. Although she's in pain, I don't know if she had sepsis. I don't know if she was going in shock. It didn't seem like it to me why they needed her to sign off on doing this exploratory surgery, and whatever they find, they have the right to handle it then. I'm not really sure why that was the only possible choice you had to sign in order for them to help your daughter. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand that. I just didn't understand that. But anyway, she does. She signs it, and then she goes out into the lobby after they take Sophia back to prep her. She goes out into the lobby and talks to the family about what they think it is that she has, this ovarian dysplasia, where it sort of twisted her uterus or ovaries or something, a fallopian tube. Something is twisted when it comes to her female parts. And this is when Lady Mae offers to try and help Grace, go with her to talk with Sophia before Sophia goes into surgery, and Grace shuts her down. We get to see that Charity is full on high. She in junkie mode. She says she's had a little wine. You're not supposed to drink and mix the pills, but a lot of people do it. And Charity is overacting, this sort of drunk, obnoxious, out of control individual. And Lady Mae asks her, have she been drinking? And she is loud and out of control. And Grace, I know, trust me, I've lost a daughter, and it's just inappropriate, loud, just obvious. Obviously she's trying to be seen, be heard. First of all, why y'all got Charity? I don't understand. Look at her. She look like she need a bath. Why y'all got Charity? I don't get it. Why y'all bring Charity to the hospital too? It's ridiculous. Who drove? Y'all didn't know in the car that she was like this? Hell no. Hell no. One whiff, one hint, and she'd have been sat down back at the house. No ma'am. You ain't going with me. You ain't riding with us with this bull crap. Bishop there, he's trying to calm her down. Grace goes on back and talks to Sophia, and Sophia has just been given her knockout drug, her twilight drug, before she goes into surgery, and she's feeling good. She's feeling great. And Grace asks her if you want to pray. And Sophia was like, no, I want to talk about love, baby. She talked about Roberto, because earlier on when she was teaching Sunday school, Roberto came to see her to apologize for how he acted at the soiree. And come to find out, he told her that he wants to wait. He wants them to do things the proper way. He's sorry that he pressured her, and she just started, you know, she's high, talking about how she wanted a white picket fence and a beautiful family and a small little puppy dog. And she goes on out and they whisk her on off to surgery. Grace goes to the chapel. And while she's at the chapel, Jacob is trying to talk to Zora, and he gets shut down. Carissa's trying to talk to Zora. Zora, you can come home if you want to. It don't have to be this way. And Carissa is shut down. Then we get to see Deborah Jo Winans at what could possibly be her finest moment at the vending machine, trying to get a whatchamacallit out. This was a little better acting than I've seen from her in a minute, where she ends up arguing back and forth with the doggone vending machine in front of Carissa, and Carissa tries to help her, and then Lady Mae tries to help her, and she's just so out of control with these drugs and this little bit of teaspoon of wine in her system that she done put her hand through the doggone glass in the vending machine. And as she stands there, one hand bleeding profusely, and the other, she's eating the candy bar, the whatchamacallit candy bar. I was like, Charity done got stitches. Now I know for a fact that Charity should be in a lot of pain, because they not finna get her no other drug. They can get her something topical to do them stitches, but they not finna get her no other drug with Oxycontin in her system. Absolutely, positively not. Okay, but she's sitting there and she's, you know, supposed to be all hungover. She acting more drunk than drugged, but okay, I don't know. I ain't never been on that stuff, so I don't know how one's supposed to act, but okay. So this is when Bishop had a talk with Lady Mae and asked her about staying together, and she shoots him down hard. Lady Mae rallies the whole family up, and Charity's in a wheelchair. She's pushing Charity in the wheelchair, and as she walks through to go to the chapel to sit with Grace, the whole family walks behind her one by one by one by one. They walking like a pilgrimage to go sit down, and Lady Mae sits down. They all sit at different points and parts in the chapel, and Grace is up front, and she's just trying to pray. Charity gets up out of the wheelchair and goes and sits down next to her sister and holds her hand, you know, in one glimpse, one moment of support, one moment of lucidity. She goes and holds Grace's hand, and we hear Lady Mae doing the Lord's Prayer in the background at the same time. Bishop getting a text. Bishop get a text from Rochelle saying, "I'm sorry. I was just playing, boy. How can I help?" And it's something for him to think about. Now, he realizes he is on his own. And, you know, Lady Mae has told him unequivocally she don't want to get back with him. So I'm sure it's a part of him that feels like, why not? Sophia's out of surgery, and Grace is talking to the doctor, and he shows her that she's had, you know, this, I guess, a sort of rare condition where both sides of her ovaries have been affected, and they end up having to take all of her ovaries. There was this rare condition. Kind of find out Sophia can't have no children. Now, you know, Grace done signed off on it. This gonna be an issue. This gonna be an issue, and later on in season 3 and probably season 4, this is gonna be a problem when Sophia comes to and Grace tells her, this little actress that plays Sophia gave one of the best performances, one of the best crying scenes I have seen, and I watch a lot of TV and television and movies. Okay, excellent crying scene. And Grace gets in the bed with her and tells her it's gonna be all right. God's gonna work this out. And she says, well, why would he ever let this happen in the first place? I was like, wow. Sophia, I feel so bad for her. I do, because for this to happen to anybody. Sophia wants nothing more than to have this cookie cutter lifestyle. I'm sure children fit into that. And now that she won't have them, wow, it's a tough thing. Well, we see that Mae is in her office at the end of this episode, and Bishop has come in. He's had some time to contemplate and think, and he gives her a note, and she wants to know what this is. This is what I think we should tell the church about the divorce. And you know, what he gives her is one sheet of paper that he's sort of handwritten this announcement. He tells her that she can make any changes that she wants to it. He's okay with it. He trusts her judgment. And when he gets ready to go out the door, he tells her, he says, "And Mae," and she looks at him and he says, "I'm sorry." So again, she gets this dark countenance. And she looks at him after he says sorry, and she says, close the door on your way out. And he is like, you gonna really act like you don't know me? Like we didn't have children together? Like we didn't love each other, girl? Like we didn't build this church from the ground up? This how you finna act? This how you finna act? I was like, ooh, that's the end of the episode, you guys. But the rest of this season, we just talking about episode 5. This just episode 5, y'all. And Lady Mae has declared all-out war. This going to be a crazy, crazy season. And season 4 is going to be riveting. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Tell me what y'all think about Lady Mae and this vicious, venomous stance that she has decided to take. I mean, she is giving us full-on aggression. She is trying to take it by force. Okay, by force. At the same time, she's trying to give this idea that she's somehow still a lady, still a first lady. You know what I'm saying? You can't be both, baby. You cannot be both. I'm sorry. You cannot be both. You cannot be laying waste to your own family members and trying to act like you're going to be kind and sweethearted enough to run a church. Okay? To be a leader. To be a church leader. Goodbye, Mae. Bishop. Here's an opportunity for you to stand up and be the leader that God has called you to be. Here's an opportunity. Okay? And you dealing with Rochelle? It would be better for you to take this tax debt on yourself, or go to jail and sell that house and do whatever you got to do than to get in bed with this devil. I'm telling you, it's going to be your demise. And I promise you, we're going to see Bishop take to his sick bed either before the season is out or at the beginning of next season. Something's going to happen to Bishop. It's too much going on. Y'all forget he got Parkinson's. Remember, he fragile. Okay, physically. He fragile. All right, y'all don't forget about that. What y'all think about this whole Sophia situation? This is horrible. What y'all think about Grace? Grace is slowly but surely finding her voice and speaking up with authority, without regret, without shame, without embarrassment. And I like it. I really do. I think she should have had a little bit more to say to that doctor. A few more questions for that doctor than to just sign them papers. But this is the storyline we're left with. Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. What y'all think about Charity and this whole high, drunk, just this whole thing that she's going through? We know now that maybe it has to do with the fact that she lost her baby. I see that now. But at the same time, what can we do for you, Charity? What can we do? Charity is spiraling. And if there's ever a time that we should pay Charity some attention, it's now. But everybody is just ignoring Charity. They just want her to go somewhere and sit down and be quiet. But like she told that vending machine, I matter. I don't want... I matter. I want what's mine. Okay, you guys, that's all I got for you. Until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah.